Hey guys, second part to this video for Thanksgiving of 2019. Try to do less videos for you guys so you don't have to try to catch 5 if I can. This one was about, for my SEO guy, a panel installed in a bathroom for residential, and we had to move it. We had to temporarily the power off because we had a storm come in right here about right before Thanksgiving. And I'll kind of show you how I was able to do that. Anyways, this is the little room right here that you walk out the back. It's kind of a sunroom. This is the addition they put on. Like, not these guys, but when they bought it years ago. Right below here, on the outside, I'll show you, is my panel. And their old SVR cable came in right up here, down and into the bathroom. Ours is now coming in through the bottom and up. And here is the complaint. Toilet, shower, sink, bathroom. The reason why, well, the old panel is right here. And so their old SE cable right there, I cut off, it went into the panel. I had to keep this long and roll it up and go into a breaker to feed power to my new circuits out in the garage. I'll show you. But I had to temp that off for about a week. So they shut the door, made sure no one got in. They don't have any kids, so I wasn't worried about that, and they have no dogs. So anyway, so today we dropped that down. We already had all this cut out, so we could pull all those wires back. We were not able to get access in the attic right there because it was the old addition here and the new roof was put on. So I could barely get my arm in there, and I had to pull all the insulation. My head could only go to about right here. So I pulled all those wires out, strapped that. I did have to have a feed-through box for this outlet and another feed-through box for downstairs. I did have to feed the AC backwards because the AC was here down. So I had to make a junction below. There is no accessibility under this. We couldn't find any access. So it was only over there and on the outside of the garage. And I did run another 14.3, which I think they're going to need in there, just to be safe on that side of the house, and capped it. Put an outlet on one circuit, and then I put light and pole chain on the other circuit because that's so dark in there. It's a very small crawl space. But they're probably going to use it in that room anyways for some heat. This is for the bathroom as well. So we'll get that drywall back up. So when we did this panel a week and a half ago, we had a vacation pre-scheduled, and then we had a funeral to go to, so our life kind of got mixed up there. But anyway, so once that storm passed, we got back to work. This had to be fed while we were gone because this was already done. So we already labeled it, traced the circuits, installed our arc faults. Why the arc faults? Because you move the circuits. Did I move them more than 6 foot? No, I actually cut them back. But the code says if you modify, I guess when you get a haircut, you're modifying your hair, right? So anyways, this came in as a 4-wire now. And that's going to be ungrounded. It's dead right now. Your grounded conductor and your grounding conductor, your bare copper, neutral, and then bare copper. So this panel is now allowed to be in the garage. It meets Article 240 standards for breakers and Article 110.26 for 36 inches of clearance in front of it. You're not allowed to put a workbench stationary secured against the wall. You're not supposed to. So anyway, so this is where the panel is going to be. We insulated that up there. Again, there was no cutting of circuits and putting a junction. They were actually a little longer, which is great. I did restaple up there. Oh, one other thing. You saw that shower? That shower's right here. So I poked some holes to see, and it's shallow. They put backer board for that shower pan. That's freestanding molded shower. They had to anchor it. So if you dug into that wall, you'd realize, oh no, I can't be there. So we measured it, took a little bit of time, but then I realized next to it, almost between the shower and toilet, is where that panel fit perfect. yet to get my circuits in. Over here, again, as I was talking to you, that's that addition. And that's that area that's unfinished I can't get under. That's the garage. And this is the area I got under. So I was able to get my 2-inch LB here in. Again, why a 2-inch? Larger, the better. We as electricians call it girth. Once I get that in and this straight and get a mini strap, I don't know how perfectly straight that'll be, but it'll be close enough. This will come up, and I'm trying to knock out this right here so I can see I'm off just a hair. A little hard when you're drilling through 2 joists, siding material, old siding, and new plastic siding. So I'll probably just take my knockout set, knock it out where I need to, and then put a funny money there. I'd rather have it straight to match. Even if this is cockeyed, I'll try to make them look cockeyed together a little bit, but it's kind of hard. Once you cut the siding, you commit. I might be able to cut a little more and scoot it over, but I will end up caulking some of that. This side wasn't as bad, but trying to get all that to line up is really tricky. But once that's caulked, it'll be good. Now this part of the video you didn't see before, I was able to cut the siding and slip that in and overlap so water will wick away, and then I caulked it. And then I put some insulation, caulked that hole. So that's all good to go now. But yeah, I'll give you one last third of video when this is done. But again, the only reason why I was able to temp this power off for a week, believe it or not, was because they had this breaker in there. I was able to turn off power, temp in my other line, and then feed it. So I had a breaker feeding. This old SCR here was feeding this wire here, this breaker here, and then my other breaker was now feeding my new SCR that was rolled up in the bathroom there. So I was able to temp them off and keep power on. But you can see how this was wearing out. This is this old GE panel. They are very common to do this, and it's 100 amp. And no, you can't always replace these breakers. If it goes bad, you gotta have a service change. So what does a service change mean? Well, look at all my other videos, but that basically means an upgrade. There's no such thing as a grandfather, cousin, uncle, second sister, cousin, whatever. There's none of that. Once you touch it, you own that service. And if that panel's in the bathroom, in a closet, behind a washer dryer, in a wood shop, and an area just not accessible, you have to have in front of that panel, pretty much common sense, 15 inches. So as you're servicing it, cannot be higher than 6'7", has to be about, you know, common sense at the eyesight. So once that was moved, again, you now have to arc fault everything. I was having an issue with an arc fault, and I'll show you this real quick. This breaker kept tripping, making it look like dishwasher, or it was part of the kitchen counter outlets. It's a 20 amp 2-pole AFCI shared. It is not a DF. They don't make a DF dual function and a 2-pole yet, but it does common share and neutral. Okay, but this kept tripping, so I robbed Peter to pay Paul, stuck it over here to see how it was acting with the disposal versus the other kitchen counter outlets. It was tripping too. Pulled it out, got a new breaker, put them both in. Now we're fine. But I do think there is an issue going on with the dishwasher because the motor sounds a little rough, and those Frigidairs on newer kind of, but the low end new models, I've noticed that the builder's grade, if you will, they have had issues, and I've seen the motors have issues with these arc faults. So whether it's Square D, Homeline, Cutler Hammer, Siemens, or GE, these things will happen. But again, it's a little tricky. You have to start opening up all your openings inside for that circuit. Again, you got to label everything to know where everything goes and tone it out, which we do on every job. And once we label all that, we're able to know, hey, we can turn off the rest of the house in just that circuit. But if it starts tripping and you can't get it to set, put in a normal breaker. Trace it that way. And if it trips a normal breaker, then you've got a fault somewhere really quick on the ground or the neutral. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. Hopefully it'll help you guys out.